Alright folks, it's Ryan here with my first look at a Hero Factory Brain Attack Wave 1 set. This is set number 44000 and this is FURNO XL. Stuff in the poly bag. Whoa, instruction book. Wow. Oh, another bag. A sword. Oh, my. Look at this. It's a cape. Awesome. Also get this, the torso. This is the extra large one. Wow, look at this. 5 freeze in colorful orangish Victorian red. And then to wrap things up, I want to show you this amazing piece. This is a cloth black large cape. Oh my gosh, we haven't seen this cape for a little while. This is my first time having a cape that is this gigantic size, because I always have small sizes for the minifigures. This is a brand new piece. They have these in Bionicle too, but they're really expensive, like $10 for one cape. But this one is much cheaper and way better, because it includes with the other parts. This is much better. This side is rough, and then this side is smooth. So, yep. So that's the last piece. So this piece is amazing. I love this piece. I like the cape. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. And then before I get to building, instructions goes up to page 30. So it'll be pretty fast for me to build this guy. So now, speaking of building, it's time for the speed build.
Alright, what's good everyone? What you just witnessed was me shooting the review for FURNO XL about 7 years ago when I was still a little child. And believe me, this set is very old. It has seen a lot with me, and yeah, up to this day, I will say this right now, this FURNO XL, this figure is my favorite Hero Factory figure in all of Hero Factory, like all the series, period. This guy is my favorite. Not just because he's big, it's just because he looks awesome in the overall design, and he's a big guy, but he's not super big like Rocket XL. He's still reasonable among the other heroes as well. But you've seen now in that video, that older video, that little clip, I looked at the bag, I opened the bag, looked at the parts, kind of overreacted to the parts, and it was a bit cringy. I will forgive you. I'm sorry for that. And I've completely skipped the building and the reviewing, and we are now in modern day 2020 putting this review for you guys. And believe me, this will be a lot better than what I've done 7 years ago. But unfortunately, I don't have the bag anymore. I think it got thrown away when we were moving to a new house, so that's a little unfortunate. So what I have instead is the instruction manual. This is the instruction manual for FURNO XL, and let's see what we got. If I can show anything particularly special here. Oh yeah, except the fact that he has a combo model with PYROX, and you can make some Gang Tourists, FURNO XL, and even, no offense, an uglier version. And then back here we just got the other monsters in this series, which, surprise, I managed to get my hands on all the Wave 1 monsters. I don't have Frost Beast or Aquagon yet. So, oh no, I do have Aquagon. I don't have Frost Beast yet. That's the one I'm missing. But anyways, let's look at FURNO XL. So you will first notice that his chest design is particularly different because it still uses your standard hero body piece with the clamp, the hero clamps to protect the core. But you notice he's got the little bulk with these two gigantic armor pieces, and I think that looks pretty awesome. I think that's what makes this figure really cool, is the fact that he looks very titanous, and he looks like, I don't know, he looks very crusading, you know what I mean? And he is the first Hero Factory figure, or the first big Lego action figure to have a giant cape. And believe me, this thing was an ingenious idea to finally give a proper Lego action figure a super big fabric cape. So the texture is different. You'll notice it's fabric-y on this side, and then on this side it's a lot more smooth. And I think they say about the heroes not having good back covering. Well, this just completely wipes it out of the table. And this obviously covers the back very, very well. So the heroes aren't bare from the back, especially with this guy. And when you lift the cape up, you'll notice, okay, yeah, then it looks very, very awkward from the back, I guess. So the cape really, really works well with this guy, and it was the first time that they had a cape for a big figure, and I think that's what made me want this set in the first place. It was like, wow, this guy has a giant cape. That's very cool. So, boom, there you go. FURNO XL is the first Lego action figure to ever introduce a cape. Period. Now, apart from that, what are his legs? Well, his legs aren't the big, gigantorous Rocket XL double jointed legs. They're just simple bone pieces with a lot of friction adder. I'm so glad that they went more simpler with this one and not give him double joints, because that just looks monstrous. And yeah, the friction adders really help with posability. They really provide a lot of friction, and they're very tight, so you can pose FURNO in a lot of different ways, because his arms here are also connected to the back, not your main torso. So that means you can lift his arms all the way up like this. Yeah, it's possible, you can do that. Or you can move all the way back, and so the articulation is very, very diverse on FURNO. And it clearly shows. And you'll notice what they've done with these shoulders. They've had these ball or half mace pieces as his shoulder armor, and I think that's a very genius idea as well. That's very cool, and it makes FURNO look even more awesome overall. And what else can I say? Well, here's his main weapon, which is his fire sword. Really like the design of the sword, and really like what they've done with the blade here, and then they got the fire spewing out the back. Handle looks very nice with the number 3 armor piece. I think that works really well as well. Unfortunately though, this guy only has one hand. It's always unfortunate to get heroes with one hand, because his other hand is the shield. But apart from the unfortunate fact that he only has one hand, the shield itself actually looks pretty decent. It was a new piece, and you see it reassembles the Hero Factory logo, and it's got the fire spewing out, and I think that looks pretty cool. And there's one more thing I want to show, is that underneath the cape, they at least attempt to cover it up nicely with the number 3 translucent orange armor piece at the back. So I think that's fine. But let's see some. Let me show you something funny. So let's take off this whole section. All right. So that alone is his arms. Because his arms aren't connected to the main torso, so it's just like this. So we put that aside, and now we're left with him. We're left with this. Now that looks kind of weird, if you ask me. And then, yeah, that's what it looks like from the back. So where the arms were supposed to go is used for his chest piece. So, yeah. Okay, well that looks very awkward. So let's fix that by putting the cape back on. So let's put this back on. Wonderful. would have nice to see him having 2 hands, but hey, the shield really makes up for it, and I think that's fine. And finally, we look at his helmet. Alright, it looks cool with the new visor on, but once you flip that off, I don't know about that. Now that looks kind of weird if you ask me. So I think for the best, it's always nice to leave the visor on him, and I think that looks a lot better. So without the visor, he will look kind of weird, kind of awkward. But yeah, so relatively shorter review just because I've skipped through the parts and the building process. So oh yeah, overall, FURNO XL, my favorite XL figure of all time. Better than Rock XL, better than Stormer XL, and I definitely think he is the most well-designed Hero Factory figure of all time in any series, period. Just absolutely perfect 10 out of 10. I have not seen any flaws in him. With the fact that there's only one hand, but who cares about that one hand? The shield that makes up for that lost hand was totally worth it, and that was completely awesome. So those are my opinions on my most favorite Hero Factory figure of all time, FURNO XL. What are your thoughts? Well, be prepared to give a like or dislike if you agree or disagree, and smash that like button, or smash the subscribe button. Can't talk today. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.